So a while back on the channel, we actually did do mini-series for surviving the aftermath, and well, I really liked the game, and as of late there has been the DLC of the new alliances. And because I'm still not done with the game, as I do have plans for the comparison series for it, but maybe I will do it next, maybe I will do another 2 games, it's hard to tell. I'm kind of stubborn that way, so we will see, but I definitely am working on the comparison series and other content for the channel, so just please bear with me, because currently, while I'm trying to look for a new job and other stuff, it's kind of all over the damn place with me. So what we're gonna be doing is taking a look at the new DLC, and part of that DLC is basically this. We're going to be able to create federations, so by assisting other societies, by complementing their requests to gain reputation, and eventually ally them to unlock new society-specific bonuses and buildings for your colony. Gather enough allies and help their population grow to claim majority over the wasteland and force your rival to retreat. Rival faction is going to be a new enemy faction, basically, which is a strong opposing faction which is seeking interest in the part of the world, and their control grows every time you ignore or fail society's request, and eventually takes them over and turns them hostile. Fight back by helping those in need, or use your specialists to undermine their influence via sabotage missions. We'll have therefore these covert missions where your specialists can now embark on covert operations within societies, for example steal resources or incite people to leave. But beware that the rival faction and hostile societies can do the same to you. Unlock, build and staff new protective buildings such as surveillance vans and anti-propaganda towers to shield yourself against these attacks. Roaming bandits and animals are a new feature, where bandit societies and animals are now more active on the world map, roaming around at their own pace. If you get too close, be ready to fight or flee. Hostile units can also take over your outpost and halt the production until they've been taken out. Use vehicles to help your specialists keep clear of damage. Getting vehicles is kind of problematic, but it can be done. And then there are the other improvements, such as early main quest stages give permanent bonuses shown in the statistics. Faster world map animation option has been added to settings, and then the last career with construction, blah 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 blah. So obviously they have added a bunch of new stuff, and the reason why I actually wanted to take a look at the DLC is due to the fact that I have been working on a save for the game, and through this save, believe it or not, I was able to achieve 100% achievements for the game. This was like 3rd attempt. This was obviously never shown on the channel, so I'm giving you a little behind the looks. Maybe it will help out, maybe it will not help out. And so what this is basically the society which I was able to build up, and this is after I got all the research. So everything is maxed out. We have buildings which have high construction costs. We are building the final stage of the bunker here, which is at stage 2 now. There's some issue with like building 2 engineering outposts at the desert biome. It's not exactly doing what I would like it to do. We have a crap ton of specialists. These are just some of the locations. All the nuclear fallout, all the net mess which can be found on the map has been cleared out, and now I am effectively mining out the underground deposits for the metals and other resources. So this is what you can work up to. You have water pumps, you have housing, a population of over 300, and so obviously it's kind of important to take a look at how this can be affected, because we would be able to have these settlements or these outposts cooperate with all these locations, befriend them, or potentially turn them hostile. So these are the features which I want to look into. This is why I wanted to bring this back to the channel. So I was hoping that because I have been doing a crap ton of Space Haven, Starship Troopers, and just a lot of sci-fi stuff, it's quite decent change because, you know, it's on the planet Earth and all this jazz. So yeah, we will see how this is gonna work out. So we're gonna say goodbye to this colony and we're gonna start a brand new game with the DLC and we're gonna see how it goes. So let's go set it up and see what's waiting for us. So we're gonna go with normal game. Tutorial can be turned off for me. And so it's a tough road to walk, but never unfair. I think we're gonna go with this because I have no idea what's gonna be happening. When it comes to catastrophes, there is a long list of what can happen. The most annoying catastrophe which we will be coming across is gonna be winter. And winter is most annoying due to the fact that it stops the production of your food unless you are able to hunt and do other activities, and especially at the start where you have access to stuff like berry bushes or there can be some wild animals scattered around the map, you are able to hunt them down using your specialists. But once those resources are gone, you really need to switch up to the agriculture in order to make sure that you can sustain them. So Fallout and winter are the ones which tend to affect the actual agriculture the most. So I think we're gonna go with common catastrophes. Environment, destruction, and we're gonna go with balance. And survivors scouting resources from the wasteland has become more difficult and dangerous as the years pass. What is left is usually contaminated or just broken. We've managed through a combination of survival skills and luck. There have been encounters with other survivor groups as well. I think we're gonna go with some average starting resources. Ideology. In the wasteland, there is no right or wrong. The only thing that matters is survival. Everyone who's come this far has done or seen something they don't want to talk about, but that is not the way to build a better future. Let's leave the past behind and choose our way forward. I think focusing on... This is gonna be interesting. Survival and efficiency is definitely great. Aim for progress and technology. There is a lot of stuff to be researched in this game, and with the potential of new technologies, new buildings, and everything being implemented, it can be quite interesting. So survival and efficiency might be actually great for the start, because at the start where you have limited workforce, you really cannot do that many things. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of interesting. Large-scale production can come later down, but if you make sure that you have the survival and efficiency, you are gonna be able to set yourself up for success. Now, specialist archetype effects, which covert missions are available, and how proficient they are in them, okay? So I'm not really sure where I see that statistic. Now, Raj is a scavenger, and that's quite useful, especially at the start. He has the efficiency of 150. His research, however, is not the greatest. So we kind of are looking for a balance between those. For example, here we have a great scientist, but the scavenging is not so great. What else do we have? Who else do we have? Okay, looking at the stats, decent fighter, bad fighter, great scavenger, bad research, great research, decent damage, a bad scavenger. Huh, man, this is gonna be tricky. I think I want to go with Raj, just because I have good experience with him. And as the game will progress further, we will of course be taking on a bunch of specialists. So a scientist would be extremely beneficial, but in order for us to actually do science, we will have to first unlock a couple of buildings. And so we will also have to go and scout out the world and potentially find where these locations can be obtained. So a scout at the start is also quite useful. Their damage seems to be decent, their scavenging seems to be decent, but their research is something that is unfortunately lacking behind. So if I can find a scout, 50, 75, he is really bad. Scavenger, fighter, scout. Scavenge, 100. Research, bad. Attack, decent. Health, 90. What's our health on Raj? The same. Speed is 6 AP. He's got 7. I think we're gonna go with Boone. And those are gonna be our first two guys. And now the funniest thing, I want to see if they added any new emblems. Yeah, I think they actually did. Okay, so we have some sort of hammer and axe attached by a chain. We have some sort of, I think this is like a dog footprint. And then there's this weird fire. A lighthouse. And a fist. Okay. It almost kind of reminds me of some sort of Diablo thing. I don't know why. This looks like some sort of cult. So they definitely added some new symbols. These ones that were here before are also great still. It's usually the biggest problem to try and find something which matches with the contrast of the back. I really don't like the map or the symbol or the insignia creation still in the game. Because, like, look at this. The detail, the contrast is just, it doesn't pop that well. So you really need something which works really well with the background. And that will then determine the color of your faction and everything. The lighthouse is tempting. This is just too weird for me. I don't know how I feel about this. This looks like some furnace or something. I'm not sure what that is supposed to represent. I kind of like the fist. The backdrop. Now, going red would be probably better because of the red or the bright red background. So, I think we're gonna go with the fist, just for the hell of it. Who knows, maybe I will kill everyone because it's been so long since I played the game as is. So, let's see. So colony name, we're gonna do New Alliance, NYPV or something. Hope I spelled it correctly. Don't laugh at me if I screwed it up. And the motto type is more subscribers. Or, I don't know, something less cheesy. If it's broke, fix it. I think that's great. Let's go with that. If broke, fix it. That's horrible. Okay, so we don't need the tutorial. I should recall a couple of things. Challenges medium, common catastrophe, average temperature, humidity, small patches of fertile soil, average starting resources, survivalist ideology, colony name, we do have it, and the map seed, I unfortunately... we can mess around with it. Let's go with this one. I don't know how much it's gonna change everything. And let's see if we will actually have the DLC in there. Because if I will have to go through this setting up all over again, I would probably throw a hissy fit. So, wish me luck, and let's see how it goes. Alrighty. So this person can actually be controlled and like walk over, and we can set up somewhere some base location. Okay, what I like over here is that we have access to water. That's great, because this can be an early source of fishing and water intake. Over here, we do have some lakes. There's a crap ton of desert terrain in here. So trying to look in which direction we're gonna start building up our society and everything. And, this water over here is inaccessible, so we have this coastline and we'll have to rely on it at the start, probably. Some greenery over here, desert. We can go quite far. The map which you can build up is quite extensive. Just like don't have some sort of unrealistic expectations, because the save which I showed you, well, that was at least like 20 hours in, so not really sure how far we're gonna push this thing as is. But okay, we're gonna need to establish a campsite, and I kind of don't want to do it over here. So
the world is in ruins. Things once considered mundane are hard to find, and habitable land is no exception. A settler has finally found a spot for a new colony. With a place to call home, it is time for a new beginning. Welcome to the Aftermath, survivor.
okay, so build a campsite to mark the center of the new colony and start uncovering the surrounding area. So I really want to build the goddamn campsite somewhere around here so that we're closer to the freaking water. Because if I build it too damn close up here, it's just super messy. Can I control you, dum-dum? Because the longer it's gonna take me, I really don't want to set up shop over here. Although there is some soil over there, and we do have actually tools, science points, and even clothes which can be gathered. Seems like the initial zones around us are visible, but the map is going to be quite extensive. But don't worry, that's going to take also quite a while to get uncovered. Here we have some berries, here we have some wood, but there's also pollution, and I don't want to build close to that. Can you, like, seriously not piss me off and let me build it further over there? Ah, god damn it. If I build it on the fertile soil, that's gonna be quite annoying. We do have these mountain ranges to protect us. So I think I'm gonna place it somewhere around here. And then we're gonna start expanding over in this direction. I'm not really thrilled about the map seat right now, but it's usually just because we have only started. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. We're gonna speed things up a tiny bit. And we have a massive pollution over here. Even larger one. The problem here is that this pollution does contain the sandworms. The sandworms are these massive bugs. You can think of it like from the movie Tremors or from Dune, the tiny sandworms or something. These fuckers are quite nasty. So yeah, we're gonna eventually come across like even wild boars or bears on the map. So the further down you go, the more dangerous it starts to get. So yeah, fun stuff.
There are survivors waiting for a signal from the settler. They are cold and hungry.
So first things first, we want to build up some housing so that we can actually bring in the settlers. And for that, you need to do like tents and other stuff. At the start, you are able to accommodate 2 tents. And I'm not really sure right now if they are the same length or width. This is where Anno games are better, as you at least see what the hell you're doing. Come on. I want to make it like it's aligned or something. Now, the thing is that the housing and everything is gonna be moved around as is. A stockpile of resources is gonna be crucial at the start before we are able to make better storage units. And food storage can go over here as well. Hold on. We cannot build the road yet, so we need to research that. Awesome. Yeah, so let's build these guys up here. Now, you will be able to actually select working area. And you can expand it by holding control and rolling with your middle mouse and selecting what you want to collect from what region. And then you do the same with food, and it works for the berry bushes. So we're gonna move the work area, and we're gonna have quite a lot of bushes over here. Just have to be careful when it comes to these pollution spots so that your people don't go through them quite frequently, because they cause potential mutations, which causes disease, which causes death. And yeah, we have only so many iodine pills for radiation, antibiotics for infection, and medicine for overall injuries. So there's that, and we have one water collector, and that water collector is gonna have to go over here, where it will have 100% efficiency. Okay,
There are survivors.
shoot up the flare, and let's bring in those people.
Your first colonists have arrived. Prompted by the signal flare, the rest of the group arrives at the prepared campsite. Despite all the hardship ahead, it's time to rebuild and turn this hostile place into a home.
So here's the deal. When it comes to the overall population, you have to monitor certain things. So for example, we have 7 adults, which means 7 people are capable of working. And we have 4 children. So we will have to wait before the children are capable of reaching the adulthood, and they are able to lend a hand with the colony management. Then, as the time progresses, of course, your adults turn into elders, which means they are no longer at the productive age, but they still need to be provided for, because these are hungry mouths to be fed. And so yeah, that's that. The shelter space is only for 6, so that's not sufficient, so we will need to build additional tents. And when it comes to happiness, yeah, we're gonna have to address a couple of things.
Reached a milestone.
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna build tents. And here we see the cost. So right now, we know that we are basically grabbing wood from these piles. And the great thing is that at the start of the game, you actually don't have the capability to mine the underground layer or the underground deposit of a resource. So there are these surface deposits. The starting position usually does hold plastic, wood, and the further down you go, you're gonna start to come across metal and eventually concrete. These are your basic building blocks. So wood, plastic, metal, concrete. Parts and components are more advanced, and they are used for constructing usually buildings which do require electricity and so on and such. So we will get to that later. Probably not even on this episode. Who knows? I have high hopes for the series because I have been kind of doing nothing but goddamn sci-fi stuff as of late, so I'm really hoping that everyone's gonna appreciate this switch. So let's see if it's gonna work. Damn it! I screwed up here. Yeah, it's okay. It's actually advised to have like 2 tiles wide of a road right next to your city center or your campsite, because that is where you will keep a large portion of the resources. This is like your initial large storage site for all the more advanced stuff. Okay, so we cannot send guys to the world map as of yet. I'm assuming for that we will require to build few things. Now, the gate will require a crap ton of wood and a crap ton of plastic, so we're gonna have to wait for that. I am building tents because tents allow people to reproduce. The emergency shelter does allow them to like be crammed more at one location, but it decreases the birth rate and we really need people. Stockpile is a-okay. We are gonna need the fishing tier or fishing pier, my bad, sorry. And because we have only such a limited access to water, this initial zone is gonna be really important for us to be managed properly. So water is being processed and we are gonna have actual workers dedicated to these places. Now, as we go into the research and we will start gaining access to all these things, you will be able to expand how many people can work at certain site and so on and such. But as we have only 7 adults, currently what's happening is that berries are being collected from this location, this location, and then the wood is collected from here, and then we're gonna eventually transition so that it's collected from here. And our specialists are gonna have to clear out these big-ass sandworms which are located over there. And we're gonna have to be careful because those suckers actually do pack mean punch. Now, if you want to help your colony at the start and you are, let's say, lacking resources, you can actually assign your guys to go and like scavenge some of these deposits, and they will be able to do so. Also, they can go kill like these fierce rats or these deers which live over here in the woods, as you will of course require the trapper to do this for you. But right now we don't have that much plastic, so it would be nice if I can actually build the recycler and start gathering the plastic as is. Unfortunately, I'm not really thrilled about the berry bush. Maybe you guys can actually go and clear it out. I don't want to build too damn close to the damn pollution. We're already moving way too freaking close to it as is. Yeah, I cannot reach all of these spots, so let's put it over here for now. Once this bush has been completely extracted, we will be able to proceed further. This massive pollution is gonna be a problem, and it's gonna take for us a while to actually be able to clear it out. Tools we have, clothes we have, weapons we don't have. Well, these specialists do possess weapons, but we're gonna see how effective they're gonna be.
Suddenly, muffled cries for help start echoing from one of the shelters. Inside, a large hole has opened up in the ground, swallowing the poor colonist.
The shelter was apparently built on top of a small sinkhole. A makeshift ladder should help get the colonists out without injury. So throughout the game's duration, we're going to be giving these sort of quests or actions which will determine the potential rewards or happiness, or it can potentially kill people or make them whatever. So we can actually spend resources which will improve happiness quite greatly, but quite a lot of times these quests show up and suddenly you have to figure out what would be the best action to take. And quite a lot of times it feels like a gamble, and it will feel like it even throughout this game playthrough, but hopefully it's not gonna be that negative. So we are depleting the resources. That's perfectly fine. Keep working on it. I'm really hoping you guys are actually going and clearing out this damn bush. Housing has been accommodated. Do have one person who is currently fishing, so that means we can assign one more person. And currently our diet is that we have some candy, some jerky, 3 fish, we have 64 berries, we have some canned food. That thing is gonna run out rather quickly. Don't rely on storing it or something. And we are gonna have to see what can be done.
Your orders?
Theoretically, we can actually go and try to hunt one of these deers. Now you have to be careful, however, when it comes to doing so. The reason why, the deer doesn't just run in this game away. It actually fights back. These are some freaking sturdy deers. And if there's like 2 of them together, then they will deal damage. So you guys salvage the venison. And this way we don't have to yet build the trapper. However, you have to be careful because if you just use your specialists to do these things, the problem is that they can actually hunt out the entire population and you are gonna be left with no actual deer on the map. And so your trapper would have to hunt for like the rats and other BS. So yeah, just saying, you can totally go nuts. Don't worry, but it's kind of better for you to potentially hold on killing out the entire populations. Have you guys been able to take the deers apart? I think so. Okay, what's it gonna take for us to actually venture out? A campsite is gonna be required. Okay, we're gonna need to build some water storage as well. It's gonna actually burn through like our entire reserve of plastic, which really means that we do need to make sure that we will get that freaking recycler up and running. Logging camp is gonna be responsible for making firewood, so when it comes to the events such as winter and so on and such, these buildings are allowing to keep these houses heated, and the better the quality of the heaters and the housing, the better the health and happiness and everything. So it's all intertwined. Lumberyard is just gonna be responsible for getting the wood, but right now at the start I kind of don't see the need for me to be using lumberyard because there is so much raw resource to be gathered from the surface level. So we need to work on this thing. So colonist Brooklyn is radiated is probably because of all these pollution spots.
Not everybody is equally skilled in the art of building, but one of the colonists seems extraordinarily bad at it.
Unfortunately, this is the problem. We don't have sufficient quantity of plastic, and because of that, we cannot improve the tent. So if I leave it be, it will have negative outcome for the happiness. It can potentially damage the tent, so it will have to be repaired. But because I don't have this option, and this will happen later on, even if we go and scavenge in the world and try to look for potential salvage stations or go through certain quests. If you, for example, don't send a scavenger or a scientist on a mission, but you send a fighter or something, they will have access to these different options. So we have to unfortunately let it be, and it's quite problematic because now the tent is literally on fire, and I don't know if there's anyone who's gonna be able to repair it in time, which sucks. Which really sucks. Can someone please fix it? This person is radiated, and that's not great. The thing is, we're gonna need to build a medical tent in order to actually deal with these sorts of situations. Can someone please, for the love of God, fix the damn thing? I think someone is already working on it, so I'm not really sure how hammer is able to stop plastic being on fire. But if you can tell me or explain me how that mechanic works, then I would be just amazed. Yeah, you see here is metal deposits, or there are metal deposits, and here we have even concrete. Awesome. So we will be able to gather that stuff eventually once we obtain the necessary camps to do this. Now, I want to build the recycler, and this thing will cost me quite a lot of resources. And because this is a outpost like this, I actually do not mind building 2. The reason why I'm building 2 is because we are gonna require a crap ton of plastic as is. I mean, even the housing requires plastic. So currently, I'm incapable of just gathering plastic. And unfortunately, our specialists are not able to help out with tapping into these large deposits. So that's all up to our people. So one go for wood, one go for this before we are able to move forward. Someone please fix this tent because it's still a little bit smoky. We have 4 more colonists available for assigning. Theoretically, I could have just scrapped this building, but we can put the assigned location over here. Second location over there. So 2 people are right now responsible for gathering plastic. We're gonna leave it at this because we're gonna probably have to assign someone to be a trapper so that we have access to more variety of food.
Someone seems to have been stealing wood from the storage. A few colonists go to investigate, and after a bit of detective work, return with a group of rowdy children, one under each arm.
Apparently, the kids use the planks to build themselves a tree fort in the nearby forest. If you tear it down, you will get wood, but it will also have negative effect on the happiness, and so we're gonna leave the fort alone. Let the kids have their fun. Who's going to miss a few planks anyway? The children are practically beaming with joy after hearing that their precious fort will be saved. They thank the adults profusely. The next day, the colonists find a crude yet immensely colorful thank you card by the campsite, decorated with whatever might pass for finger paint. Gotta keep the kids happy. Come on, they're the future. I seriously need to get rid of these goddamn pollution spots, but clearing out pollution... yeah, that's problematic. I kind of am sure that in order for us to be able to venture out, we might be required to have access to the gate. And just based on the resources alone, you can see that that will cost me a crap ton of plastic. So let's try to speed things up. Currently, we are on the 3rd day. Can someone, for the love of God, fix this? And we have a death. So the chances are, because the person who had the radiation poisoning wasn't healed, she did not take any medication, we did not have the facility, Brooklyn is now dead. And because we are lacking the graveyard, we need to rely on this thing called the burial pit. The burial pit causes pollution, so it's not the nicest thing ever. So I'm thinking we're gonna build it somewhere around here for now. And eventually it's gonna be moved around before we have access to cemetery, and for some reason cemeteries create pollution as well. Optimal thing would be to build the goddamn cemetery somewhere around here because there's just pollution all over, or there's desert all over, so it does not have effect on the agriculture. We're lacking toilets. We're gonna have to build toilets. That's the outhouses. Outhouses also create pollution. Fun stuff. Fortunately, I don't know if I have enough plastic to accommodate these things. But yeah, we need to provide hygiene for our people as well. Yeah, this is also like challenging for me because we're trying to do a couple of things, and it's different when you have everything already pre-established and
One of the colonists approaches, looking more than a little nervous. She says that she might be able to provide some clothing for the colony.
So, because I don't have everything pre-established and it's difficult to go back to brand new game when you have a colony with 300 people. So yeah, but we're gonna give her the fiber. And I don't even know where it shows us if we have still 15 fiber. Okay. We have gathered 0 pollution, 0 fuel, 0 oil, rare metals, fun box, electronics, junk, fiber. None of that is accessible. We aren't producing that much water, which is problematic. It seems like this water is creating a lot of pollution, unfortunately, as well. We do have now the outhouses available, so they will be able to do stuff, and we are going to require a medical tent, believe it or not. This thing is important to keep our people happy and safe. We have a person assigned to work here, and we have 1 slot filled already as is. And so because there is the pollution spot over here, that's why I built the crappers in there as well. Or showers, or what you want to call them. But it is an outhouse, so...
Colonist died.
Oh, come on! It's gonna be really bad if I start losing way too many colonists, especially at the start. We can really suffer here. I think I'm gonna pause the production here. We're gonna assign the person to be treated here. So the medical tent can treat 2 people simultaneously. And it, of course, affects our overall medicine, but this pollution spot is the prime suspect as to why we're losing so many goddamn people. I have already lost 3 goddamn adults, and that's not great. That is not freaking great. A burner will be required to keep the houses warm. But also certain facilities where you produce things will require the burner. There's another injury. Thank God I decided to build this damn thing. We have 0 people available to be signed for new jobs. And we are already trying to gather things as they are. These massive pollution spots take forever to be cleared out, and dealing with the sandworms can be problematic, especially if you don't have people who have high base damage. So these 2 guys have a base damage of 12 each.
Ready.
So this is the sandworm.
Yes.
You should be able to take out 1 maybe.
Yep.
The benefit of having the specialist is in the fact that you can pull them back and they will recover without the use of the medication, I believe. So now the other specialist is under attack. I might need another one or something. These are dangerous creatures to kill. That's why I'm doing this on the slowest speed, and I'm trying to switch around the targets for the sandworm. The benefit of killing these fuckers is in the fact that you actually do get food from them. And there is additional source of food, and that's the mealworms. I just hope that the other fucker won't wake up, because both of them are kind of injured, which would be really unfortunate. But this is additional source of protein for you.
The colonist is being berated and pushed around by their neighbors.
Apparently they had fallen asleep while working at the fishery, and their little campfire got out of control. Now the building is in danger of burning down, with today's catch still inside. Tell them to fetch the fish. Put out the fire first. Smoking salmon. A small group is assigned to put out the fire. They manage to do so, but not before all fish inside is burned to ash. I don't care. I'd rather just catch more fish. As long as nobody got injured, that's kind of what I care about right now. Still have crap ton of mealworms here. So we will have a fish, venison, mealworm, jerky, and we have also the berries as the plant-based alternative. I know, we're so far right now really focused on having access to the proteins, and really not that vegan friendly, but we're doing what we can. The unfortunate thing is the loss of the 3 adults. That really did set me back. And here we're gonna have the first catastrophe. So heat wave. Intense and oppressive heat takes over the area as moisture evaporates. Colonists struggle to keep hydrated and cool while working. Lakes dry up and plants wither in the cracked soil. Colonists drink double the normal amount of water. Crop yields on open fields suffer. Build and fill water storages while stockpiling food to survive. Colonists sweat, making hygiene harder to upkeep. So what I'm gonna need is another clean water storage tank. Probably somewhere around here. And we're gonna need more of the outhouses. Problem is we don't have the builders. So that's fun. What if I do this? Then we should have the builder. So this thing needs to be built first and then the outhouse. We are gonna go through... So production is 14, consumption is 8. It will be doubled, which means that we will be burning through 16 units of water. Unfortunately, due to the lack of people, even if I would build another water collector, it might not really exactly help me out. And these lakes are quite far away, so that will be problematic as is too. We're currently also not gathering any plastic, and we are gonna have to do manual maintenance of the radiation on these things. So the outhouse has been constructed, and here comes the heat wave. Now, the heat waves can last for a couple of days, so it will be really important for us to make sure that we do have access to water. As you can see, the lake has really not dried out. Otherwise, we'll be totally effed. And I will need to work on getting more people to come in and help us with all these projects, because otherwise we're gonna be in some deep trouble. But yeah, we can focus on picking up these berries over here. And there is the plastic deposits.
Huh?
Water is being gathered, fish are being caught, so food is okay. We still have 858 water in our storage, and we will be able to maintain hygiene, I believe, with the 4 outhouses that we have currently available. Medical tent is functional, and patient slots, nobody's in there, so good news for us. We have no free carriers. Deposits are being depleted, which is a-okay. Guys, go fetch me some wood. So they're working on that. Can theoretically go and look at these little rats, which I saw here. They are hostile, and they can be killed for resources as well, such as food.
A delirious colonist is carried into the camp.
Something seems to have poisoned him, but he's unable to say what. Should the colony be willing to take the risk and try an experimental and intensive treatment to get the colonist healed enough to say what might have caused the symptoms? Take things slow and steady. I think I'm gonna do that. I cannot afford really to lose more people right now. It's not worth it to gamble with people's lives. The man is taken into treatment and carefully nursed back to health. When he finally wakes up, he is unable to recall what happened. The source of his condition remains a mystery, but at least he's safe. That's kind of important for me right now, because we have only 5 adults to work with. Did we have 3 children or 4 children at the start? Did we lose a freaking kid? Holy crap, that's brutal. It was 7 and 4, right? I think so. Might be. Deposits are being depleted. That's nice. We're gonna need a crap ton of stuff still. So scouting towers are used if you want them. What you need to do is you basically build them at the edges of the terrain which is currently available to you, and they give you more of a view what's beyond. So there's that. That's how they operate. And once you actually have the scouting tower, how it used to work before the DLC, I'm not sure if it changed, is that you construct it, someone goes in to work inside, and once the area is scouted out, you can actually demolish the scout tower, and the area will still remain scouted. So you don't have to maintain these scouting towers. Ah, crap. Okay, so here we're getting some punishment from the skies above. Meteorites are literally falling down. Fortunately, it looks like nobody has been injured. And the next thing which we're gonna do is the gate. It's gonna burn through a crap ton of resources as is. And I really will want to have a maintenance depot so that I don't have to manually keep fixing the pollution created by some of these buildings, because that is the most frustrating thing, especially if you eventually have like a larger colony. So far this is okay. It doesn't really matter to the tents if you build them on top of a goddamn desert or sand or actual like soil which can be used for crop production. But that trapper is calling my name. I think we need to get rid of this deposit over here. It's kind of preventing me from doing stuff over there. No free carriers are left. That's annoying. So we have used up majority of our plastic, so now we're waiting for more to be brought over, and because these things produce only a specific quantity at a time, it's gonna take a while for the gate to be done. But we will need to go out because certain things like the superior tools or the protective clothing, which is the third one all the way at the bottom, these ones you cannot manufacture. You literally have to have outposts outside so that you can get a supply of those.
A group of colonists have found something extraordinary in the nearby forest.
They bring out a beautiful relic, sparkling gold in the light. The colonists are convinced that this is a sign of good fortune, and they want to have a ceremony in its honor. I don't like these sort of weird religions or cults or whatever. So even though it's going to negatively affect our happiness, I kind of don't care right now. With the housing currently available, we still can accommodate more people. I'm hoping that those kids are going to grow up to be adults soon. But we're going to need additional housing eventually still. I just don't want to give them more tasks to be constructed because I want to have the gate fixed first. And also the gate needs to be manned by people as guards. And with the new DLC implemented and people potentially being able to infiltrate our location and spread some bogus propaganda and make them leave our settlement, that can be even more devastating, especially at the start of the game when we have limited manpower. And the limited manpower can be a really bad situation. I kind of do want to maintain a decent workforce. So we're gonna salvage this rat. Were there more, or was that it for now? The reason why I want to kill out these rats is that your people can actually work and salvage these locations.
Congratulations. You've rebuilt the gate and gained access to the world map. The gate is now open, and the vast world stands ready for your specialists to explore. This progress has not gone unnoticed, though. Soon, your colony will begin attracting various folks. Some good, others desperate, some tricksters, and those who just want to see you destroyed.
Yeah, so you can get lots of visitors. You can have merchants, you can have raiders, you can have new colonists who potentially join your cause. That's the best kind, but the further down you go, the bigger the problem is that a lot of times a portion of the new settlers will actually turn hostile for no goddamn good reason. And a lot of times, like 90% of all times, when you get new colonists through the gate and not through actual settlements or outposts set up in the world, a majority of them can have injuries. So it will actually drain your medical supplies.
We've reached a milestone.
So
There are survivors at the gate.
we already are getting survivors.
A ragged bunch shuffles slowly towards the gate.
And because this is start of the game, they're logically not gonna give you injured people, but we are getting a scout. We're getting 7 adults, 3 children, 0 elders. We're getting clothes, tools, candy, plastic, wood, and currency. We're gonna take them in, and we're gonna need to accommodate these lovely people. And now we can actually even build like decorations in between the tents and whatnot, but primarily what I want to do is make sure that we are actually producing stuff. Okay, so plastic is gonna be brought in. Now we are 3 people are gonna be responsible for plastic. So this is what we're gonna do. This tent should not be affected by the pollution, hopefully. But because we have now more people, we're gonna need potentially more outhouses, more water intake. So what I'll need to do, we can theoretically build a water well. Efficiency of 90%. Let's go and do that. Because currently we would be draining our water, and if we reach 0, you don't want to reach 0. Think of it like Timberborn or other games. You want to keep that beaver wet. I mean, you want to keep them hydrated. You know. Sorry for that. If you don't know what the hell I was talking about, Timberborn is this game where you have like a settlement survival, but instead of people, you actually have beavers. So it's not that I'm just disgusting or something.
What's up?
Okay, so we're gonna send out the scouts. Crap.
These people have clearly been through a lot. They look frail and are likely easy to overpower. But the look on their faces makes it clear they're desperate enough to do anything.
Okay, so what I want to do is add in the person.
Your command?
Uh,
Can do. Check.
return these guys to colony.
All right. Check.
I'm not gonna give them shit.
How may I help? What you need?
And eventually these idiots are gonna attack. So we're gonna actually
These people have clearly been through a lot.
give them nothing. Which means they're gonna attack. And the further down the road you go, the more brutal the attacks will become. And you will need to keep fixing up the gate. So we're gonna get a reward for successfully defending the gate. But now we have a cockroach infestation, so we have to go and deal with this crap. Believe it or
What
not.
you need?
The benefit of clearing out the cockroaches is that actually we can now go ahead and salvage these little fuckers. Also, the fun thing is if you actually put up the gathering outpost over here, they will automatically gather the cockroach meat themselves too. So if you have colonists who are assigned to these outposts, then you will be able to do this as well. So we're actually getting cockroach meat, I believe. There are 4 types of bug meats that you can get. There's like a cricket, a worm-meal, or something like this. What's it called? Then there is the cockroach, and then there's one more. So we have now 12 adults and so on and such.
What's up?
Okay, so we should not get visitors that soon. So what I'm gonna do is send out our specialists.
Yep.
And you are gonna go gather the resources.
Yep.
And you too,
Right away.
because you are scouts,
Alright.
you have much better chance of moving around the map faster, and therefore using you two for scouting around the local regions, which then theoretically Raj can go to, and he can salvage them, will be the best reaction or action to take. But you need to be careful, because as it was said, some of these outposts will eventually have radiation. So as your scouts or people or specialists are gathering resources, they can take damage over time. And if you were to lose, let's say Raj, who has gathered previously tools, clothing, weapons, and then he would die at the 4th outpost, all of those supplies are lost, along with your specialist. So you have to keep an eye out on this. Okay, we're gonna need to do something with the heating. Thinking over here. When it comes to food, the trapper would be nice as well. So with the addition of the well, we now do have additional water. And the benefit is that for actually the wells, you do not require to have a person to operate them. And later down the road, you can potentially research upgrades. But for that, we will require science points. And those are obtained from places such as this one. So what do you have for me? Iodine pills, additional clothes, science points.
Mission complete.
Antibiotics, medical supplies, science points.
Can do.
I believe that the Vegas will be able to scout out this region. And let's have Boone scout out this region. And Raj will be gathering the supplies. But it's gonna take him a little longer to get that thing done.
There's a new quest available.
And these are gonna be crucial
Lately,
quests.
An increasing number of cars have been spotted in the distance, not too far from the colony. There seems to be some kind of a new settlement close by.
So we're gonna follow the vehicles. This means that now when we are on the world stage or the world map, we can take our scouts or our specialists and go to these specific locations. Really hope that this will not be the goddamn hostile location. So once this region has been scouted out by Boone, he can theoretically go and visit that spot. It will still take quite a lot of time to get this thing over with, so let's let you do your job. Now, unfortunately, if you are on the world stage, one thing will happen. The time almost as if stops and only moves when your specialists are moving around. If you, however, want to move the time forward, so you want to see actually, let's say Vegas move from this location all the way over here, you have to be inside of your colony view. Otherwise, it just unfortunately does not work. We actually have a bandit outpost.
Job done.
Lots of iodine and clothing.
Found
Interesting. So the tire tracks are easy to follow and lead to a small settlement. Still under construction. The guards stopped the specialists at the entrance. Sorry, but we aren't letting any new people in. If you're looking for work or supplies, though, we might have a proposition for you. One of our vehicles hasn't returned yet, and we assume the crew's gotten lost somewhere. If you track them down and find out what's going on, we can have a share of the loot they're transporting. So we can go and search for the vehicle. That's gonna give us another direction where we need to go, but unfortunately it looks like our stamina has run out, so Boone is gonna take a while to get that thing done.
Mission complete.
Raj has picked up the supplies, so let's go for the tools because those are gonna be running out soon as well. And then we can directly go for iodine and clothes too, because we're gonna be eventually responsible for crafting our own attire, our own tools. All these things are gonna have to be accounted for. Okay, resources. There is a lot of wood here, so let's set it up here. They're already gathering a crap ton of plastic as is, so that's great. We are gonna be responsible for also creating grow saplings and plant them in specified work areas. Logging camp is gonna be what I want. We do, however, have only 2 colonists available. I think I'll have to build it over here. We will require that fuel. I think Vegas has scouted out the next region. So since Boone is gonna be going here, I do want to scout out the local surrounding areas. And when you go to these regions, you have to look at specific resources or specific statistics. So let's say right now we take a look at the sector info of this place. We see that there is no control, hostility is neutral, the biome are plains, and then there is the outpost resource. So survivors, 3 out of 5, science, 0. If we go lower, we have the same thing. Non-neutral, plains, survivors, 3, science, 0. And that's why we have to scout out these regions. Unfortunately, it looks like we are in the middle of wasteland, which is not the best thing. But if we go to the other wastelands or other locations, we can potentially see information such as this. We have urban biome, so this is some sort of remnants of a city. We have neutral hostility. We have 5 out of 5 survivors. So this place over here would be great to turn specialists into settlements or settlers who are able to build outposts, who are then able to extract resources, because these are resources which you gather and that's it. But then there are resources which have this sort of silver cog around them as an icon, and these are continuously produced and mined out from the regions. So like I said, those protective clothings, those superior tools, you can have weapons gathered like this. You can even have stuff like Funbox or potentially other resources gathered such as this. And the funniest thing is, and I still don't understand this until this day, is that your place is literally filled with a crap ton of pollution, right? So that will actually turn into a resource. But the funniest thing is that if you will be eventually trading with other communities, you can actually sell them the pollution. So you can effectively clear out your pollution from the map. You can store it in a silo, and then you can sell the entire supply to the other settlements. That's the dumbest thing ever. Like the logic dictates that you would want to escape this stuff or bury it somewhere deep so it cannot affect anything ever again, not freaking sell it to another colony. What the hell are they gonna do with pollution? You know, like, why would you implement that? But okay, if it works as a trading commodity, I'll take it.
strange gleaming plant has been found in the woods.
The leaves are perfectly square and red lines cover most of the stem. The person who found it is convinced it's some kind of a miracle plant that can help with all sorts of things. What should be done with it? Find out if it's edible, find out if it's medical, compost it and use it for fertilizer, throw it away. Find out if it's medical. The plant is ground with water and test it on superficial wounds and rashes. The plant has no effect on anything and is soon used up. If there was a use for it, it wasn't medical. So it could have been either fertilizer or it could have been food, but now we don't know. Unfortunately, that's the gamble you take. It seems like this tent is really getting actually polluted from this goddamn thing here. I might have to relocate them and build the tents over here, so that it's actually further away. Since this thing actually has 0 occupancy, it will be far easier to manage like that. Unfortunately, they are now out of range when it comes to the heater itself, but before we actually reach something like winter, I don't think I'm that worried about it. Let's clear out the pollution. Can theoretically hire a person, but usually recruitment of people costs us upward of 700 when it comes to the currency. So I don't think we're gonna do anything with this right now. And these are the polluted spots. So you can see that if we're gonna send Raj over here, he's gonna be taking 5 damage over 12-hour period. It seems like it's gonna take 2 days and 17 hours to actually clear out all the antibiotics, and those antibiotics do seem quite tempting. Or we can go drop off everything back at the colony, or I can actually go for the iodining clothes over here. I think I'll go for the additional iodining clothes, and then we can try to mess around with the additional stuff. So this is gonna get fixed. We have 15 adults now.
Reached a milestone.
And we're getting first kids, probably. Yeah, Nora was born. And already Nora is walking around and running around. It's like Nora was born 7 years old or something. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm just happy we're getting kids in. Okay, so we need to move the working area, obviously, so that we can actually start gathering those logs. Why the hell can't I expand the area? Or, hold on. Oh, yeah, that's because this is the actual thing responsible for gathering food. So we need to find a place where... 100% efficiency. Suck on that. And we will still require to produce... Yeah, we are actually... Oh, come on! That was such a dick move. Why does the satellite need to crash literally in the middle of the settlement? What the actual funk? Not funny. Not funny. How's our wood situation? There's still wood in the salvage. And so this is why those watchtowers are going to be important. Eventually, the surface deposits are going to run out. So what you will want to do is eventually start to make sure that you will get to these other regions which might have the surface deposits, because it will take for a while for you to actually be able to tap into these deposits a little bit more and a little bit better.
All done.
Boone has been able to scout this out.
What do we have here?
So, if you would have, this is what I talked about. If you would have scavenger, you can draw them a map and inspect the car. If you would have a scientist, you can draw them a map and treat an arm. And now we can only draw them a map. And for that, we receive 50 jerky and 70 cockroaches. That's awesome. Now, because you have actually quite decent scavenging capabilities, you would actually be able to go and grab the antibiotics, but I want you to scout out
Mission complete.
the local region. This is actually great because there's 2 tool deposits.
Consider it
Let's
done.
go scout out the region down here. So we have 3 survivor points in this massive plain region. The urban area over here is great. This is where I would love to build an outpost to gather survivals. And the one above it would work quite well for it as well. Unfortunately, if we go into like the tundra territory, it can have negative effects. At the bottom, you can find usually deserts. In the middle, you usually find wastelands and plains or urban areas. And then at the edges, you can find all sorts of weird biomes. So you can have like tundras, deserts, and all sorts of fun stuff. So you will always have something fun to play around with. It will never feel too boring. A specialist is ready for an action.
Job done.
So this is what I was talking about. This is where we would be able to build an outpost. And this would, over a period of 24 hours, create 16 science points. Now, this is one of the least proficient science outposts we can get. There are outposts which can go, I think, all the way to 15 or even maybe 30 per certain amount of time. It can actually change. It can be per 12 hours or it can be per 24 hours. So you have to do at least that basic math. But other than that, the game is a lot of fun, I promise. I know, thinking about doing math might not be the most fun thing ever, but trust me,
Not going to happen.
you're gonna have fun with this game. And the DLC is not that expensive. It did not really add any new achievements, and like I said, this is actually like, I don't know if the only game which I have in my Steam library where I was able to get 100% of all the achievements, but yeah. It did not take that long, and the game is a lot of fun, and I really hope that you will appreciate me throwing in something except of Space Haven. I'm also wondering if I will do some shooter or something, because unfortunately the Starship Trooper, the game from 2005 or whenever it came out, unfortunately the version which I have is missing the last mission where we go after the brain bug and where we would even fight the X bug and all this other nonsense. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Let's go scout out this region. You have the AP points, so let's put them to good use. You are already scouting out this wasteland. But yeah, if we would be able to use these 2 regions for gathering survivors and have them join our colony, that would be awesome. Because it seems like the additional regions around here don't really possess that many deposits. This whole lake seems to be just one murky mess. I would definitely not want to eat the sushi that comes out from here. It literally looks like if you would light a match at the edge of the lake, it would ignite the whole damn thing. How are we looking population-wise? 15 adults. We have 3 people to accommodate for carrying capacity. Our water storage is full, so we can try to expand it even more. It's better to do this while you are actually in the surplus, because trust me, the worst thing which can happen is when suddenly, like, let's say the heat wave comes in and it just screws up with your entire plans. I also should build another outhouse. Colonist is irradiated. We still have iodine pills, but I will need to make sure that Raj will be getting back to us. What's your scavenging rate? There's a crap ton of medical supplies here. God damn it. Yeah, here survivors are not the best thing. I want to scout out the regions around us first, and then I want to be actually salvaging.
The post-apocalyptic wasteland is a hostile place, but you don't have to survive there on your own. Various other groups have risen from the ashes of the old world, each with their own motives and ideals.
It's your choice to befriend or fight them. Gain reputation by completing requests and ally with them to gain access to unique bonuses and buildings, or embark on covert missions to sabotage and steal from them. Just be prepared when they do the same to you. Increase your reputation to ally with societies. Research new buildings and use the society depot to construct them inside societies. Help your friends grow and hinder your enemies with covert missions. Form the Federation and unite the wasteland under one banner. A mysterious rival faction is rising to oppose you. So at least we know that the DLC has been triggered, and it did not even take that long. It's what, like hour and 20 minutes, so thank God. If I would have to find out after 5 hours that the DLC did not work, I would get a little pissy.
We've reached a milestone.
So it looks like this is a place which is currently unfriendly. Population is higher, and they have some travel time, but there are resources which can be gathered, such as tools and so on and such. But like I said, right now I want these guys to actually be responsible for gathering stuff. Our clothes are running low, so Raj, if you would be able to go and grab maybe this one stockpile of 10 pieces of clothes too, that would be just awesome. There's a lot of initial resources which you can gather like this. The problem is you really cannot gather these by yourself or produce them by yourself because they do require the access to science. You have food, you have resources, you have infrastructure, community, safety, and now new alliances. So this seems to be a whole new reimbursed or retweaked tech tree. So that's interesting. Okay, I'll be looking forward to this, definitely. What I do like to focus at the start especially is trying to go for maybe like upgrading your tents so that they can house more people but they're more comfortable, and then go for food so you have access to like basic farming and so on and such. Production speed is increased or work slots are increased, which gives you access to more food. And so yeah, but we need to also keep an eye out on how many people are able to do things for us.
There are survivors at the gate.
What do we have here?
Ragged bunch shuffles slowly towards the gate.
Okay, so 1 adult, 3 children, 3 elders. I'll accept them.
We've reached a milestone.
They seem to be irradiated, which is problematic because they do seem to suffer from radiation. We don't have that much iodine. That's a problem. Society Depot. The simple building acts as a gathering point for society-bound convoys. Workers collect required materials for society-built requests and pack them ready to transport via automatic convoys. So that's definitely a new building, and I would love to build it somewhere close to the gate, but I also don't want to build things too close to the gate because we already did have one raiding party show up, and this thing actually occupies a sufficient space, goddammit. Like, it's quite extensive. Okay, we are gonna require housing. And we are gonna be able to accommodate it over here. Now the funniest thing is that eventually, let's say this plastic deposit on the surface is depleted. Once only the underground deposit is left behind, you can actually build on top of it, which would mean that yes, you are losing the access to the deposit, but later down the road, what you might not know is that actually mining out these underground deposits creates pollution. So if you have housing or something around it, all the houses can have this increased pollution chance, or the decontamination might be required steadily in order to actually get rid of the negative effect. we're gonna seriously need to build a freaking scout tower. The fortunate thing is that we actually do have 7 people that can be accommodated for such position. And I want to find where the hell to build this first one. I'm gonna probably go over here and over here. We're gonna let them scout out these regions, see if we will find surface deposits, and we will have to invest into more water gathering. Problem is, the two cannot be too close to one another. So that's gonna be this. We're having some issues with the road construction. You can see immediately he starts scouting out spots. And we have winter. So winter is one of the most frequently occurring catastrophes. It's not actually like catastrophe, it's like a season theoretically, but you can have like a nuclear winter, so who knows. So the first flakes of snow and morning frost are telltale signs of an approaching winter storm. Colonists struggle to keep warm as they weather quick shifts from chilly to freezing, with heavy snowfall burying everything in its path. Info and advice. Burners keep shelters and workplaces warm inside their effective radius. Colonists exposed to freezing weather get cold. Cold turns to hypothermia, causing health loss. Cold slow effects of exposure, upgraded ones even better. Unfortunately, we don't have any clothes right now. Our tools are almost out, and we have only antibiotics and medicine. So, not really the best thing. Animals in ranches can die without heaters nearby. Well, that's gonna be way down the road. Okay, so we have some reactions out in the world.
Job done.
And so you have to return with the supplies because you have some clothes. And we will require those. You also have a crap ton of iodine.
You're not the only one with plans to unite the surviving societies under one banner. A powerful foe is gathering influence and extending its control over the wasteland. Every time you stumble, their grip grows stronger.
Each failed or ignored request increases their reputation, ultimately pushing societies on their side and against you. Monitor this progress in the Federation status and push back by completing requests or undertaking sabotage missions. The rival gains reputation whenever you ignore or fail society requests. The society taken over starts converting missions and spawns hostile units on the map. Gaining back reputation in these societies is slow. Sabotage them with specialists to reduce rival control. Forming the Federation forces the rival to retreat and leaves you with their captives and spoils of war. So this is going to be truly interesting to see how it works out. Ooh, there's a car. We can actually theoretically gather that car and drive back home, but if we don't have supplies, it's gonna be problematic. Okay, there seems to be wild boar. This is the new type of a creature which can roam the region. So eventually getting some sort of fighters is gonna be definitely crucial. I also don't know if the fighters are gonna be the best to deal with the potential covert missions.
Ready.
Still scouting? Okay, well, do your thing. You have at least better scavenging. You have a crap ton of food as well, so losing you would be also unfortunate. And, okay. Winter is approaching. We need to construct another burner to keep these tents warm. And I don't know if we will require a burner over here. And we will require also a burner by the burial ground, believe it or not. We actually should have also burners by the scouting towers. I shit you not. But hopefully they won't die on me. Oh crap. That sucks. Yeah, we had those newcomers show up, and they had the radiation poisoning, and we don't have any iodine pills. So that's why they died. Boone has finally scouted out this region. Crap ton of tools, which is awesome. Theoretically, you can start salvaging spots. So, okay, this one produces 16 per 12 hour, while this only half of it. So building an outpost over here to produce science points would be much more beneficial, because in one day we get 32 science points. And trust me, once you reach down the research tree, some of these researches will cost you like a crap ton of science points. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. This would take you 2 days to gather. We're gonna get clothes from Raj. He should be back.
Reporting in.
We're gonna send you immediately back into the world because you are our scavenging dude. And I want you to go and go for those freaking clothes, man.
What you need?
We do have right now iodine pills, 15 of them to be exact, so that's okay. You can go scavenge this location. Mall Town. I'm not really sure how we're gonna be increasing reputation right now. We're gonna have to probably construct that building to see what can be done. So Society Depot might be the first thing, but I don't want to build it so up close to the gate. It's a risk. And without the specialist also available in here, can be problematic.
The colonist has been secretly feeding rat beetles in the colony. The feeder is surrounded by an angry group of people demanding answers.
So the feeder tries to explain that rat beetles are actually misunderstood creatures, gentle and even intelligent by nature. They beg to keep the beloved pets, but the other colonists are worried things might go south quickly if these pests are allowed to live. Okay, get rid of the animals actually triggers an attack from a crap ton of beetles. Nothing to be alarmed here. Can also have negative effect on the overall happiness, and you can still get attacked by the goddamn stuff. So there's some of these things you're never gonna achieve like some sort of victory. So that really sucks. That really sucks. How the hell am I gonna deal with this? I'm gonna... We don't have the specialist at the colony, so we don't have someone to help with killing these things. Our basic colonists will not take part in doing stuff against the beetles, so they can get harmed or hurt by them. And you have only the 2 guards at the gate who would theoretically work as the eradicators. So we're gonna leave them be, and we're gonna get a crap ton of science points. Okay, awesome. So theoretically, we can start running research because we have the research points. Schools and greenhouses. Unlocks new society buildings, schools for constant reputation, trickle, and greenhouses for population boost. Interesting. Then we have guardians. So you can create guard posts. These are towers that protect specific regions. Bunk beds. You can upgrade tents to crowded tents, so shelter space at premium and some concessions to comfort might be in order to fit as many as possible. Survival must be first, even at the cost of unhappiness. Centralized repair. This is the maintenance depot. This is a crucial building, because this way you don't have to deal with the goddamn decontamination manually and so on and such. So this is a great building, and then you gain access to like metal scavenging and all these other cool things. And then there's food. So you can upgrade the hunting cabin. So we'll have even more food available. I think food-wise we are right now set. I think I'm gonna go with this one. It's gonna take a while to get done. We are at day 18, and that's the time when we get the What is this? Like a third catastrophe already? They're really not, like, making it easy on me, huh? Thankfully, we were able to get some basic clothes in. But right now, we really need to get this burner up and running. Okay. So, request. Build school. Expires in 9 hours. I don't know if I can build school. Yeah, we don't have access to that. So that's gonna be problematic. I would have had to go with the research of the schools and the greenhouses. And even with that, we would be totally screwed because they are giving us 9 hours to accomplish this. And it would take 10 hours just to research the school itself. So I would be still boned. Question is if we can move through the mole town terrain, because they are unfriendly as is.
Your command? Negative.
Go fetch me those clothes. We do have iodine pills now. You will be able to grab the antibiotics and medical supplies as well. I would love to grab another specialist, but as I assumed, 700 is the currency they are asking. Damn it! I can ask him to wait by the gate, but I won't be able to recruit the guy. Unless I would come across more currency. So either someone would attack me or something, but...
You've made a new discovery.
Yeah. Sucks. So we can now start actually upgrading the tents. So, crowded tent, short-term emergency solution, provides no protection against radiation and is easily destroyed by catastrophes, has more capacity than ordinary tent, but the cramped space is bound to create tension between inhabitants. We are already suffering with some poor shelter unhappiness, so not really sure I want to do that. Upscale tents. So, reduce happiness penalty is what I would love to do next. Because we do have access to those science points. God, I'm so glad that those fucking beetles did this for me.
Your orders?
What are your science? Research is super bad.
How may I help?
You are scouting this out. Yeah, we don't have a good scientist on hand. And there is some science to be gathered in the local region. 207. 500 over here alone, and 214. God damn it, but this is damn impressive. For a starting position with science points, that's pretty damn impressive. Benefit is you actually don't need to bring the science points back over to the colony. So that's great.
All done.
Okay, so this is the shopping center. Here we get one fun box, or what's it called, per 12 hours. So per 24 hours, we get 2 of those suckers. That's awesome. These things, great for trading with other societies. Society requests. Building up. Yeah, buildings require society depot, embassy bonus. We cannot really do too much. Founded inside a massive shopping mall, stores have been converted into apartments and other areas are heavily barricaded to repel intruders. Its inhabitants are well aware of what they have and they furiously defend their homes. They're very cautious of letting outsiders inside of their place. This is gonna be important to befriend because they are literally super close. And if they would turn hostile, which we're gonna suffer some reputation decrease here, they can start spawning in enemies, and I already have enemies to put up with. Now, if you want to clear out these locations, you can totally do so, and you can actually, if you don't have the best damage dealers, so let's say you have more scouts at the start, you can actually send 2 or 3 or how many specialists to tackle one position such as this one in order to turn the fight to your side, so you can actually achieve victory and only suffer some damage to your health without actually losing the specialist themselves.
The order.
You can see how long it's taking Raj just to reach this fucking location. So he's gonna go for the clothes, the iodine, the medical, the antibiotic, and then he's gonna go home. Already that is a lot of time to spend outside. Trust me. We are at day 19. I unfortunately still cannot afford to purchase this guy, and his research is also bad. He would be great at scavenging because 200 freaking points, but I'm gonna have to pass on him, which sucks. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Not enough currency.
One of the more scientifically minded colonists has a problem. Having struggled with a particularly tough issue for what feels like an eternity, she wants to take a hike outside the colony to clear her head.
Yeah, what's more worrying though is that she wants to do this alone. Yeah, don't let her go, because she's gonna suffer injury that's gonna cut into your medicine. I'm sorry. Hopefully the research to improve the poor shelter is gonna help us out, and we do have access to
We've
food.
made a new discovery.
So, has the poor shelter negative effect been reduced? I don't think so. I don't think so. We should build like a burner over here. Unfortunately, we don't have science points right now. Specialists are ready for
We've
action.
met another society.
Each society has their own means of survival, but you can affect how they will succeed in their efforts. Help them put up defenses against raids, or construct farms to see their population grow, or raid their convoys and spread propaganda for your own gains.
So trade and fight against their enemies to gain enough reputation. Complete build requests, selecting and assembling a convoy at the Society Depot. You can also complete covert missions with your specialists to steal resources. So it seems like we have came across another town. We are able to move through their town, or through their region, which is great. Let's scout out this location up here. I want to see what's around. Then I want to gather all the junk. Man, you are taking forever to clear this place out. Let's scout out this region. When you have a region such as this, it's actually controlled by some raiding faction. And if you, like, don't clear out this outpost, you cannot move into this region. So we are currently being blocked by the Rippers here. Or what are they called? Yeah, Rippers. And we cannot explore what's beyond that position. And usually there's around 5 settlements. So we have Motown, we have Omicron, and then there's gonna be more of them. Now, we still don't have trade available, but these guys are cautious, yet they can offer us seeds for wheat. They can give us access to cockroach, beetles. They can sell us sheep, a car, fuel, concrete, and the durable tools. But yeah, we would have to sell something in return. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Obviously, I would love to kill some of these fuckers, because if I'm correct, then they are sitting on top of a science facility which produces 32 points of science per day. So this is the funniest thing. If we clear out this, what looks like, man, what's the word I'm looking for of the building? The place where you look at stars with the giant telescope. It's on the tip of my tongue. God damn it. Oh, come on. What's the fucking word? Observatory. That's the word. Observatory. So if we clear out the observatory, we gain access to a place which creates 32 science points per day. And here we have observatory, which produces 16 points science per 12 hours. So basically this building and this building are identical. So this is the little math which you will have to do. So I'm still not joking, it's still fun. Just saying, this is what you can come across. Fortunately, the two scouts are better at scouting out the regions and not actually doing some of these things. But we will see. We will see. This place could use some heating, that's for sure. The problem is I kind of don't want to overcram too many goddamn things at the same place. Because the negative effect is that we will burn through our wood quite fast. But if we don't keep them warm, they can get sick. And so, fuck it, we need to install it. And this seems to have been done. So we can actually demolish this building. And this will remain scouted. And there is a crap ton of pollution in here. And I believe this region has been scouted out as well. So we can decommission it.
New requests available.
And now we can move even further. Concrete ruin, wooden ruin. Okay. Minus 50. Yeah, awesome. Our scouts has spotted a large group of raiders heading towards us. If they get here, they'll pillage and loot anything inside. Please help as soon as possible. If we do it, we get 10 tools, 10 clothes, 200 coins or currency. And, okay, so those are the bandits. We would have to
Mission complete.
get these guys together to protect Omicron. You can actually scavenge stuff in between, no?
My pleasure.
You have gathered this. Theoretically, you can go for iodine.
Sounds good.
And how's Vegas? Okay, we cannot move through that location. So what we can do theoretically is send 2 of our scouts to deal with the idiots that are attacking. And that should allow us to gain at least positive reputation with one of these locations. Okay, okay. See what you did there. Seriously, need to get more currency in order to get a scientist. Scientist would be most beneficial. There's a crap ton of pollution here. Overlays. I want to take a look at the buildings, resources. So there's plastic, pollution, some berries, water. Water. Okay. Energy, no. Living beings. Pollution is spread out quite heavily in certain regions. This one is just glowing totally purple. Soil fertility. This will be important for agriculture, where we can theoretically cram in a bunch of fields eventually. This region is not suited, so yeah, probably this will be important for agriculture. Temperatures are quite shit, so that's because the winter is still here. This is like the second winter which we're having right now.
A survivor
I think.
arrives at the gate and immediately collapses, badly beaten and covered in deep wounds. Despite the colony's best efforts, he only manages to utter a few words before bleeding out.
The lair. We found it. So full of riches. But the beast, it's real. The description of the lair's location is vague. But the specialists come up with few potential sites worth investigating. We're gonna accept this quest. Because it can yield some potentially useful stuff. And no, this is probably not the beast they were referring to. Okay, I kind of need Vegas and Boone to meet up.
What do we have here?
Here's the potential location of the
Can't do that.
behemoth.
Not gonna work.
We're gonna stop these bandits in their tracks. Unfortunately, we have lost quite a lot of reputation here, which sucks. Because these guys have access to sunflower seeds. Now, sunflower might seem like a totally overrated thing, but actually in this post-apocalyptic future, things run on biodiesel. So the sunflower oil is actually able to be refined into the fuel. And believe it or not, the sunflower oil or the fuel is a great commodity for exchange. Plus, if you grab a couple of these, you are able to move around with them. You are able to store a crap ton of salvage inside of them. But you need fuel in order to power them. So, yeah, like, who would have thought that is the case? Okay, so we have a crap ton of plastic, but we're running low on wood. So that's making me think that a lumber yard is gonna be important. Let's build it over here for now. And we're gonna put the work area somewhere over here where there's not that much pollution. We're gonna eventually have to build the house or the building responsible, or forester responsible for growing the trees back. But this is a great spot. There's a high number of actual trees, but we're using it for food production, so we're not gonna do that.
Colonist done.
Bunch of rats. We're losing some people, but we are up to 26 people. Okay, move work area. The thing is, if you clear out these trees, you are also clearing out all the animals which can be in between. So these deers can theoretically then run off on you. Still gathering the berries, and you are still gathering the wood scrap over there if we have things. Unfortunately, we don't have medication. We need antibiotics.
Colonists, a meek woman no one has really paid attention to before comes to view.
She says there's something important she needs to inspect in the woods, but cannot really explain what it is. It's something about mushrooms and medicine, but her speech is broken and she cannot find the right words. She can go. And one colonist is infected. Damn it, woman! Yeah, I was trying to switch the tactic because last time the scientists wanted to leave. People were unhappy and yada 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 and bullshit, but yeah. We need antibiotics and we need medical supplies.
What's up? Found something.
Boone, go deal with this. Grab the supplies.
What's up? Found
You
something.
go and clear this out. That's 30 parts.
Shoot. Sorry. Can't
I
do
want
it,
to
yes?
group these guys together so that they can actually attack the bandits. Because the bandits are way to reach Omicron.
Not going to happen. Yes.
Raj is still not done with iodine. If we don't get the additional stuff, we're gonna have problem. We have venison, we have cockroaches, we have plenty of fish, we have crap ton of berries. But without those medical supplies, we're not gonna be able to keep these people alive. Which would kind of piss me off. Deposits are depleted for what? Berries. Okay. So move the working area over here. Plastic deposits are still accessible. One has been completely mined out, so you can see that actually the underground plastic deposit has 7,960 resources available. Problem is, you have to go in the resources and you have to get, like, I don't know if it's industrial mining. So scavenging construction material, yeah, these are the things which you need in order to get to mine out the underground deposits, and this is 600 science points. And then you need access through these other things, so it will cost you quite a lot of resources or quite a lot of science points just to get to that point alone.
All cleaned up.
Iodine. Next thing. I really need the goddamn antibiotics, man. So I'll send you here. We do have 5 medicine.
Reporting in.
This is tricky. If I will be able to stop the bandits with Boone
Yes.
and Vegas,
What you need?
this is what I'm talking about. Now we have higher chance of surviving without taking so much damage. The chance to achieve victory here would actually allow us to get that additional specialist, because we would get 200 currency out of it, so we would have almost 900 currency available. And if a specialist costs us 700, logically it's what needs to be done. Okay, it looks like there's a bunch of these fucking rats moving on about. Wait, where the hell is he going? Or maybe if we kill these guys, we will be able to deal with these dudes as well. Because they're just moving around the territory, and I kind of don't like that. We'll also have to clear out these locations and start establishing outposts. So straight up, we can have 3 outposts over here. 1 for science, 1 for colonists, 1 for colonists. These other locations are not that well set up, but we'll manage. We will manage.
A couple of colonists heard eerie calls not too far away.
They would like to open the gate to venture outside to hunt down whatever's making the sound. It's dangerous business. People might get injured or worse, but whatever's out there might yield some meat. Go for the hunt. The group scurries back to the gate, eyes wide and mouths agape. Whatever was making that noise, hunting it down was not an option. They said it was a bear-like creature, but certainly bigger and more deformed than any bear they've ever encountered. Now, don't tell me that that bear will be moving around somewhere in here, or I'll get a little upset. Still gathering the wood. That's nice. I'm gonna have to build the outpost somewhere around these parts. So this is what we have achieved, or this is what we're like a colony prestige. We will have to get a bunch of stuff in order to get those points. Seriously, need to get medication. This is not funny at this point. Have you guys killed them? Not yet, huh? Trying to determine where the scout tower would have the most effect. Thinking over there. There's not that much space over here to be scouted out. We're gonna be mining out everything. Pollution, 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 pollution. Man, I'll be looking forward to once we are able to start clearing out this crap, because I will have to focus on what's closest to us, as it's affecting where we can effectively accommodate people and all this jazz. We can recruit a specialist, but first, I want to kill those fuckers in order to collect the reward. Yeah, I know you guys are fucking sick. I'm well aware of it. I'm working on it. Unfortunately... What is the condition that you have? Cannot click on it, so... Yeah, infections, so we need antibiotics. Come on, kill those fuckers already. I'm hoping that the person is gonna be a scientist or a scavenger. I don't really give a rat's ass about the candy bars, although it's kind of nice that there are so many of them. A Boone would be able to scavenge. some of the supplies, Vegas will be able to conduct more of these missions for the Behemoth layer or just scout out the additional regions. We have to go to our colony view in order for the time to progress further and for us to get the results that we are looking for or hoping for. We are running low on clothes as well.
Two men approach the gate, arms on each other's shoulders.
If we give them one medicine, we're gonna gain seed for some crop. Okay,
Almost died.
we have some deaths, but we can now afford the person. We have 0 people to accommodate for the logistics. We have over... Oh, crap. This is the worst thing ever. Oh. Scavenging is decent. You are a scout too. Fuck it. Let's seek her in. So Jill, you have to go and start attacking everything and anything. And we have to raise the alarm.
Yep. How may I help? Reached a milestone.
This is why you need specialists around. That scout tower can theoretically be damaged. I want to make sure.
Yes. We won the battle.
Nice. I still have to clear out whatever was there. Okay. That has been taken care of. Do we have the positive outcome?
Request complete.
Yes, we do.
What's up?
Awesome.
What's up? What do we have?
Vegas, go over there. Okay, we're gonna hide inside of the car because the final site fits the description perfectly. A highly full of abandoned car or a highway full of abandoned cars next to what looks like a tunnel entrance. As the specialist is making their way towards it, a deep threatening growl fills the air. A massive beast covered with patched, scuffy fur appears from the mist with its fangs bared. Its back is riddled with spears from survivors who tried their luck before, obviously with disastrous results. There's no way to take it out without help. Hide inside of the car. And now we can enter the tunnel, and holy shit. So we got 45 components, 430 currency, and 12 shotguns. Awesome.
Quest complete.
So that's one quest complete, but we need to go over there in order to drop off everything. I kind of want to go scavenge some of the scrap. If you would be able to gather theoretically some clothes or some bullshit, it would be super helpful because we are completely out. There's 10 clothing.
Roger.
Go for it. And we have also Jin. Jin can
How
go.
may I help you?
She can be sent out to the world.
Yes.
And Jin can theoretically try to attack. She has semi-decent scavenging, so she has 100%. So she will gather everything. I don't know if I need those candy bars right now. Fighting against the dead rats would be a death sentence. So theoretically, we can go help here Raj with the supplies. She can theoretically go over here, take damage from radiation poisoning. Hopefully it won't fucking kill her.
Not going to happen. Can't complete the order.
And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this one. So it's gonna be the start to our adventure. Hopefully in this series we're gonna get a little further than way back when I played this game in last year. Like stuff like the Resident Evil Village and other games, Dying Light 2 and everything came out, and there wasn't that much like positive response to the series. So maybe with the new DLC, I might get some views, and I might also bring something different to the channel. So hopefully you guys will be happy with that as well. And now we have freaking raiders.
Cults are not unheard of in a world like this, feeding on people's drive to seek meaning in the chaos.
Now one such cult has arrived at the gate. Their leader rings a bell and calls out to the colony. Listen up, you faithless lot. Salvation awaits those who offer everything for it. Open the gates and give us what we seek. They look rather weak and poorly armed. Tell them to leave. The leader nods. So be it. You brought this upon yourselves. Some of these cults can be fought off, but some of them, not really. But okay, we got 2 pieces of clothes and some tools. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Turn off this, and yeah. So like I said, this is gonna be it for the initial start of the series. So hopefully the DLC is gonna turn into a fun little feature here on the channel. I really like this game, which is gonna make it that much more complicated for the comparison series, as I always try to be objective. But yeah, if you want to eventually see when that happens, or if you want to know what the hell am I talking about, go check out the channel. The comparison series is featured there. You will find it fairly easily. I was able to recently publish the Chivalry 2 versus Mordo. That took me a while to get done because Steam just simply did not have access to them. So yeah, it was only like accessible to the Epic Store and other bullshit, so it's complicated. But anyhow, that's gonna be it. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe out there in the meantime, and hopefully I will see you all in the comments or at the next one. Thank you all, and bye-bye.
A ragged bunch shuffles slowly towards the gate.
Oh wow, actually corn, components, and hunting rifles. Okay, fuck it, I'll take them. How's the housing? We are full. But we need clothes and shit.
What's up?
Yep.
Send you guys to the world. Yeah, people have babies. Nice. Might be forced to upgrade these gents.